video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
I'm KJ Wright from the Seattle Seahawks, and you are watching NorbFam.
This is Walter Jones, Pro Football Hall of Famer, top 100.
Tyler Lockett from the Seattle Seahawks.
DK Metcalf from
Nate Burleson. You're watching NorbFam.
You're watching NorbFam.
What's up, everybody? This is NorbFam coming at you on this Monday, day after the Seahawks thumping of the Miami Dolphins. We find ourselves 3-0, undefeated in 2024 under a new head coach, Michael McDonald. First place in the NFC West, and a pretty doggone good place to be right now. And, you know, it occurred to me that despite all that, there's still a lot of doubt about the Seattle Seahawks, right? It's like one of those things where, you know, everybody gets told, you know, hey, we're 3-0 and we're undefeated. And then so critics are quick to say, well, you guys haven't played anybody. You know, it's, you know, you guys haven't been tested. You haven't, all the good teams are still coming. So you guys aren't nothing. You know, it's a house of cards. It's a fake 3-0. Well, we're going to discuss that a little bit. And I want to hear from you guys, too. Feel free to chat away here as we got Star Production in the house. We've got Megan, Aussie 12 from Gal Kroger from Down Under. Good to see you, Megan. Matt Lance as well. But I want to actually talk to you guys. I have the phone number here. You guys can actually call in 202-926-1076 and then enter the code 696153. I want to hear from you guys directly. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is for real? Or is this just smoke and mirrors and we're going to come crashing down reality when we play the Lions next week on prime time Monday night from in Ford Field? Well, I want to give you a little take on the game. I've been obviously watching this team for a while. Saw them in training camp, watched the preseason games, and have been in person for the home games and watched them on their away game against the Patriots. So I feel like I have a good sense of what this team is, you know, what it was before they started and what they are now. And let's see, we've got Seahawks Eddie in the house as well. I'm going to kind of pop these in here. Yes, I just watched the Mariners still surviving in there as they're hanging in there, beating the Astros today. So they're not, season's not over yet, even though their odds are extremely, extremely hard against them. Crashing down. Dio Brando, Packer fans gave me crap for saying they faced the Eagles and the Hawks are lucky. Hey, are we lucky? Starry Productions thinks we're just lucky. Is it just luck? Well, you know what? Sometimes being lucky is better than being good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Starry Production, very critical to injured bad teams. Kenny Burns, what's up in here? 3-0, baby. Let's go. And, you know, here's my initial take. All right, I'm going to get into the game in a second. Again, I got a couple calls already in the line. We'll get to you guys in a minute. But here's the first thing. We're 3-0, and we're first place in the division. And who cares if it's luck? Who cares if it were against Tua and he were playing and we would have lost that game? I certainly think it would have been a different game, but he wasn't, right? We can't control who we're playing or not playing. That's just the teams in front of us. And all you got to do is do what you're supposed to do, and that's beat up and beat the teams you're supposed to. We knew Denver coming in with a rookie quarterback. We had the edge on them. We took care of them. Went to New England. I thought this would be a win. I thought we were going to be playing a rookie quarterback. We played more of a backup quarterback. Pushed to the overtime. Still got the win. Took care of business over there. Dolphins, I originally had as our first loss. Tua gets injured, out of the game. We play their backup, a third string quarterback later in the game. But bottom line is, look at the score. We dominated them 24-3. And there's a saying out there that says your record is the record is what you are, right? So we're 3-0, and we should be 3-0. We are a 3-0 team because that's the teams we played. We're very beatable. We should have taken care of them. How many times do you see teams that go, they face a team and go, oh, we should get this win, and they don't? Like the 49ers yesterday. They lost to the Rams. They had no business losing that game. But they lost it. Now they find themselves 1-2, and the Rams 1-2. The 49ers are kicking themselves going, man, we should have won that game. How the hell did we blow it? Well, the Seahawks could have blown that game yesterday if a number of things didn't go our way, but they didn't. They eventually got it done. It got a little close, a couple turnovers that could have changed things, but they didn't. The defense stood tall, held their ground, and in the end, we put a nail in the coffin. by taking the offense, taking them down for a 98-yard drive to punctuate and finish the game. That's what a good team does, right? They finish the game strong, and they take care of business. So that's what I have to say about that. We are a 3-0 team because that's what the record says we are, and we did what we were supposed to do. I want to acknowledge Jay Sharma with the super chat. Hey, Norb, are you doing the Discord? Yeah, I could pop that in as well. I'm doing mostly phone calls. I got a bunch of people online already. I'm going to jump into you guys in a second. I had a earlier super chat that didn't show up on my stream here, but nonetheless, I'll try to find you. You did it before my stream even started, so I appreciate you being on here. But so that's what I have to say about that. As far as the critics saying that we don't, that we shouldn't be 3-0 or that we don't deserve to be 3-0. We are 3-0. What's nice about it is, we aren't that. We're not. Certainly not perfect. We're certainly not Super Bowl caliber yet, but we're 3-0. We've just bought ourselves some cushion from the rest of the division, in a division where everybody was pretty much anointing the 49ers, myself included, that they would probably be the number one in the division. And now they find themselves 2 games out early when I thought they'd start off the season 5-0 potentially. And really, it's great. I mean, how often have we been in this situation? So it's a good thing. And, the Rams were lucky they got that win because historically, at least in recent history, any football team that started out 0-3 pretty much don't make the playoffs. So the Rams were this close to being pretty much mathematically ousted this early in the season. So, but that puts everything kind of even at the bottom, but we got a little cushion now to make up in case we do stumble along the way. I found the ad that I wanted to mention. Old Buddha with a $4.99 super chat says the Hawks will be very good. They will host an NFC Championship here in Seattle, and the Hawks are very good, pure and simple. I like the positivity for sure. But let's just talk a little bit more about this. And look at this, KC Sports Nerd, my resident KC Kansas City fan, saying Bengals are now 0-3. They fall into the realm of maybe they're not going to see this playoffs when Bengals were clearly one of those teams that everyone had high expectations for, including myself. It's just crazy. But I want to talk a little bit more about this game. So let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly about what happened yesterday. First of all, the good. We won the game 24-3. The Dolphins really were never in the game. They had a chance to make it close, but they didn't. And the defense saw to that. I say number one on top of the whole list is the defense has been outstanding throughout this first 3 games of 2024. The offense has been kind of up and down, the running game this way and that. Special teams has been kind of sometimes great, sometimes not so good. But one thing has been consistent, and that is the defense has made the stops. They've been aggressive. They've gotten pressure on the quarterback, despite the fact that they've been missing some key guys. And we lost 2 more yesterday, right? So we already knew Geno was out after that first game. Before the first game, right? He was out in preseason, so we haven't had Uchenna. We lost Leonard Williams, and we lost our rookie Byron Murphy. We don't know the status of these guys yet. Hopefully, they'll be back and not out for an extended period of time. But that happened midway through, early on in that game, and despite losing some of the 2 key interior linemen, the defense was still able to contain Miami, prevent them from ever getting in the end zone, only eking out a field goal because we threw an interception at our own 5-yard line. The fact that they were able to hold them back from that is pretty outstanding. So the defense, the only thing they didn't get yesterday that would have put the cherry on top is they just didn't get any turnovers. So despite the fact that we lost a turnover battle, we still dominated. And that's pretty damn good considering that the turnovers happened where they did at the 5-yard line and at midfield, which put the ball, I think, in Seattle territory. So the fact that none of that ever is mounted to a touchdown is pretty amazing. So the defense has been great. Been fun to watch. They're unpredictable. You never know where the pressure is coming from. And it had Miami just completely, their backup quarterback had no idea. Skylar Thompson didn't know what was coming. Feel bad for the guy because he I don't know what happened to him, took a shot in the chest and got knocked out of the game and got down to their 3rd-string quarterback, who actually did pretty good. The 3rd-string quarterback was actually a little more efficient. And granted, they took a couple of I don't know. It's just interesting how that happens. But nonetheless, we were able to stave them off. And I just really love the defense and what they're doing on the defensive side of things with the pass rush. The running game, wasn't great. There were times when we had some issues where Miami was ripping off some runs early, like 9 yards per run, 10 yards per run. And it was shocking to me that they didn't stick to that. I was telling this Miami fan in front, I said, well, how come they're not continuing to run the ball? Because it's the one thing they're doing well, and they insist on trying to pass the football, which was not working for them, fortunately. And it was just shocking to me that they were forcing the issue. But I'm glad they did, because it kind of backfired to them. Acknowledge that Serenity72 with the $10 super chat. Norb, I've been watching your rival videos for years. I love you and so excited to find out our new seats this year. Is the row behind you? Oh, right. We are going to have some fun this year. I'm glad to have you behind me, because I had some seasons not too long ago when we had some not so nice people behind me. So I love having friends around me, which is great. Thank you, Serenity, for the shout out. Can't wait to see you on the next game. But yeah, it was just surprising that the Dolphins didn't try to just stick to what they were doing well, and instead try to, throw the football and do things that just weren't working. We were just, every time they would try to throw it, we just wreaked havoc on those guys. It was great. So that was the good. Now let's get to there's just some more good in there. I would say the other good is, so defense kind of goes without saying. Love this defense. Linebackers, secondary. What more can you say, right? Just great. Just the injuries was the only downfall to it. On the offensive side of the ball, there's a lot of positive. I got to save some negative to it, but here's the positives about our offense. There were times when our offense looked unstoppable. And they had, you look at that last drive, thing of beauty. There were times when they were just going, humming, 12 yards here, 13 yards there, first down here. And Geno was just executing, firing on the field. And we had a couple drives like that. And the reason they stalled is because of the negative side of things, which were, doggone it, our offensive line, kind of switching to the bad and the ugly. Our offensive line is just still a sore spot. Probably the biggest weakness right now with the Seahawks. Our offensive line still having trouble protecting, too many penalties. A lot of those drives that were humming so perfectly, get a first down, boom, holding call, sends it 10 yards back, and then the whole drive is kind of messed up from there. Bradford, man, our right guard, you're killing me, bro. You're killing me with the penalties. You're killing me with letting guys get into the backfield and messing up the pass protection for Geno. And it drives me crazy when people say Geno sucks when he gets sacked. There's so many times it's not his fault. It's the line not doing their job. They need to hold him for another second. And there have been a couple plays where if Geno had one more second of time or just a clean pocket, he would have hit DK for another bomb. He was going to be open for that same type of play. Same thing on the other day or the other game when against the Patriots. He would have gone for another bomb had he had one more split second. So I know it's tough right now. They're struggling, but I think they will get better. The line will get better. And at some point, we're going to get Abe Lucas back at right tackle. We're going to get George Fant back at right tackle. Hopefully, Haynes is going to come in here, the rookie, and maybe earn his spot on the right guard. But when that does finally happen, I feel like this line is going to improve. I feel like it's like the worst stage right now. The worst thing that's on the team right now is that. So, but outside of that, I thought it was great. The fact that they're running the ball without Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet, who is a solid second level back. He's definitely not the starter, but he sure played like one. Almost got 100 yards rushing. The team as a whole got 100 yards, which is amazing considering our line situation and no Ken Walker Jr. So that was good. And then another deep bomb to DK Metcalf. I mean, you're getting the ball. Ryan Grubb is force feeding and making sure Geno is looking to get the ball to your playmaker, DK Metcalf, and finally using him the way he is meant to be used. I mean, this guy is something else, and we're finally seeing it. 2 big bombs in 2 weeks in a row. I can't see what more and it's not just the bombs that he gets. It's the fact that he's getting so much attention now, which is allowing Geno to get the ball out to other guys, to JSN to Tyler Lockett, and then the tight ends getting in on the action. AJ Barner got a catch in there. Noah Fant had like 60-something yards. I mean, that's exactly what we expected, or I expected from Ryan Grubb, is that he knows how to manipulate the formations to get matchups favorable to get somebody open. And that's why you find the tight end open so much. I mean, it's great football. It's great execution and great design by Ryan Grubb. I'm seeing exactly what he did at Washington, translating over here. The biggest difference is when he was at Washington, he had one of the best lines in the entire country. Now he's dealing with one of the lesser lines in the entire country. So he's having to make do with what he's got. But nonetheless, there are times when it looks like this thing's going to be a well-oiled machine. Once that line just executes us a little bit better, has a few less penalties, we're going to be killing it. Telling you, we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg right now, and I get very excited about that. Special teams had been solid, rock solid, until I jinxed them right before Jason Myers missed that field goal, because I said right before he kicked it, I should never said it, it's my fault. I said, Jason Myers has been perfect all year, and then boop, missed it left, and I completely jinxed him. So hopefully that's the one jinx he got out of the way, and he'll be okay. He's been solid. You know, would have been nice to have had that field goal, just make it a 3-score game in the second quarter, and then we kind of went dead for like 2 quarters, and finally in the fourth quarter buttoned things up. A couple of interceptions, you know, going to the negatives. I already mentioned the line. Yeah, the turnovers. You know, Geno was under pressure in the end zone, almost got another safety, threw the ball kind of high because he was being wrapped up at the time. My biggest issue with that is we should have just ran the draw play. I think I appreciate Ryan Grubb's aggressiveness, but if you get too aggressive in a not good situation, bad things can happen. I was going, man, we're back up to our 5-yard line. Do you really want to risk throwing it here? I was having this conversation right before the play happened. I said, you should probably just run the draw play, get some space, kick the field goal, play the field position game, because this team sucks anyway. So why risk giving them a turnover way deep in our territory? And sure enough, that's what happened. And the same thing happened on that other interception. We're throwing the ball, and this is a perfect time to just keep running, churn out some clock, and instead what happens, he gets his ball tipped, it's intercepted. It's a double-edged sword, right? You play aggressive, you just go, let's keep going, you know, keep firing, keep throwing. But you do that, you keep putting the ball up, eventually something might happen like that. So luckily it didn't matter. The defense was so good that we overcame those interceptions, but something to be careful for. So back to Jason Myers and the special teams. I think he'll be fine. Luckily, we didn't have fumble any punts. Kicking was fine. Dixon was good. We had one punt. He kicked so hard, he outkicked the coverage, and the returner was able to return it to like midfield. That was the only thing that was bad about that. He kicked it too far, and our coverage wasn't great on that. Outside of that, really, I feel pretty good about where we are right now. It's not just a matter of this injury situation. And back to that thing about how good are we really? People make excuses. Oh, the Dolphins are injured and this and that. Well, we were injured too. We didn't have Kenneth Walker. We had all those defensive guys I was just telling you who are either already out or got knocked out of the game. And we're already missing our right tackle. We're counting on a third string right tackle, on the offensive line. Third string. All right, nobody talks about that because nobody cares, but that is a fact of the matter that we're missing one of the key guys on the offensive line, and we have been for the entire season. But people don't really consider that. So we've had our own issues to overcome. So I'm excited when we get those guys back. Imagine Nwosu back. If we get him and Williams and Murphy and all those guys in there, oh my God, this defensive line is going to be something else. So I'm excited about it. I hope we get at least. It'd be great to get all 3 of those guys back by Monday. They get a couple extra days to rest. Hopefully, Nwosu will be back by then. We'll have a better idea of the injury report. I haven't seen anything new today. We'll definitely know by Friday, but maybe by midweek we'll have a better idea if we'll get any of these guys back. It really sucked to have all 3 missing, but we'll see what happens. Got a whole bunch of guys. You guys all lighting up the calls. I got to get to them. So that's really my feel. We're 3-0. I have no shame about that. We're in a great spot. Will we win again in Detroit? We beat them twice in a row, playing on the road in Detroit for the last 2 seasons. We could play them again Monday night prime time. It really is going to come down to execution and penalties, and can we do what we do? as good against a true franchise quarterback and a team that is considered one of the best in the NFC. We'll really find out what we're made of when we play that game on Monday. All right, I'm going to get to your calls. Again, the phone number is right below here, 202-926-1076, and then enter the code 696153. All right, let me, hopefully this is all working. Let me try this out. Let's start with AD, my buddy AD, who was the first one to jump on here. Hopefully this technology will serve me right. AD, you there? Uh-oh. Hold on a second. Hold on. I got you.
Oh.
AD, what's up?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. What's happening?
Nothing much, buddy. How you doing?
I'm excited. Basket in the glow, being 3-0 and undefeated. I did not see this coming. Mariners won tonight. All's good. Enjoying the week.
Yep.
My daughter's got a big volleyball match, the first home game where I'll be PA announcing and spinning the hits on disco night at Kent Ridge. So it's a fun. It's going to be a fun week. Very busy, fun week. But yeah,
I have work. I have work tomorrow, and after that, I have 6 days off.
All right. What are you going to do with all your time off?
Well, first of all, I am going to try and work on my music, and
Nice.
I'm also writing a script for my future music video.
Wow. Okay. Whatever happened to your TV pilot? Are you still working on that, or are you kind of taking a break from that?
Well, I've been hit with severe writer's block with my
That's tough.
TV pilot for a long time, so I'm going to basically take a break from that for
I understand.
as
Sometimes
long
you need
as
to take
I
a break
can.
and rejuve and get back to it with a fresh mind and fresh ideas. But yeah, no, that's cool. Enjoy the 6 days off. All right, so you got anything you want to add to this conversation about the Seahawks? Do you think they're for real? Do you think we can beat the Lions next week? What do you think?
Well, we've been beating the Lions for a few years now, so I have a really good faith that we are going to beat the Lions again this year.
All right. They have a chance. It's going to be tough because the Lions are one of those favorites to potentially make it to the Super Bowl. They could have made it last year if they didn't screw up against the 49ers.
Yeah.
But, yeah. All right. So you've got faith. You're on the bandwagon.
I am on the bandwagon.
All right. That's a good place to be. There's lots of room on the wagon. So everyone hop on board. Come on. There's lots of space, everybody. So
Come
very
on
cool.
down, people.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We got to have faith. We got to believe. We got to believe. So, yeah. Well, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Unfortunately, next week, I'm going to be, well, I should say unfortunately, but unfortunately from a live streaming standpoint, I'm going to actually be PA announcing my daughter's game that is taking place at the same time as the Lions primetime game. So I will not be able to stream and watch that game. I'll have to be reacting to it after the fact or whatever. But I will not be able to watch that game as it happens. This is going to kill me. But, my girl in her senior year kind of goes first. So it's just going to be how it is. But anyway.
Family comes first, buddy.
Well, yeah, the girl's got to be, kind of come for a senior year, so we're not going to get another shot at this. It's like every game is going to be the final one of her high school career, so I got to be there for that. So, but that's all right.
And one more question.
Yo.
How you doing on my part of the music video, buddy?
I have yet to start on the next week's stuff, so it all depends on how this week goes. So I'm jumping in to try to do as much of the second part of the prediction video, and it all depends on how this week goes. If I don't know if I can just do the whole thing. I might have to break it up into partial chunks. I've done the first part. I might have to do like a middle part and a third part. So we'll see how far I can get, but it takes a lot of time, and I'm trying to catch up on everything. So we'll see, man. The part you're in is not until the Chicago game, which is the second to last game of the season. So if it's not this next part, it'll be on the final section. So, but I'll let everybody know when that's going to come out. So don't worry, it will be out there. And that's a reminder to everybody too. If you guys still want to put a video clip to be featured in my NorbCam prediction music video, just email it to me, norb@norbcam.com. All right, AD, I'm going to go get some other calls, but thanks for calling in, buddy. Enjoy your 6 days off,
You
all right?
too, buddy. Go Hawks.
All right, go Hawks.
I will.
All right, let's go to let's just go PDX Cam. One of the NorbFam members has been waiting patiently. PDX Cam, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, Norb?
Hey man, I'm just enjoying life right now. Like I said, enjoying being first place and looking at the lowly rest of the NFC West down in the bottom of the barrel, while we're sitting there rising at the top. It's a great place to be. How do you feel about this team, man?
Part of me still holds a little bit of skepticism, only because of just the opponents we have faced so far.
Fair enough.
It's obviously we knew what it was going into Denver, that they were a rebuilding team, so they didn't entirely know what they got. Same thing you can make the argument with the same thing with New England. And going into Miami was probably going to be a sort of the first gauge of what we had as a team. But even then, it was a little bit difficult considering, at least on the defensive side of things, you're not seeing the full power of what Miami's offense could have been because they didn't have Tua Tagovailoa.
Right. I had the same feeling.
But you still also can't discredit the Seahawks defense about what they were able to do, because that entire game was, I would say, the definition of next man up. Because no matter what injuries we were having, our defense was still stepping up when it needed to. We have Noah Chen-Nwosu. Well, I guess that doesn't matter because Derek Hall is going to sack the quarterback twice.
That's right.
I mean, the offensive side, I'm still very iffy, mostly just in the running game. But even then, you can kind of tell Zach Charbonnet is doing everything he can with what he's been given.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, it's like the offense is honestly showing something pretty decent. You know, the fact that Geno's been able to connect with DK for 2 weeks in a row on long passes shows that there's something right going on with Ryan Grubb's offensive system, which is honestly, I think, miles better than what we were getting with Shane Waldron last year.
Right. It's definitely an upgrade over what we've seen offensive coordinator-wise. And again, I don't know if it's, well, actually, I think we can say it's safe to say we've seen Shane Waldron went to Chicago Bears, and they've had some offensive struggles over there. I don't think Shane Waldron was anybody's solution. Certainly not ours. So I'm glad we've got Ryan Grubb. I love the way he moves things around and keeps. You know, it's fun to watch. They line up. It's kind of like the offense and defense are this unpredictable beast because they line up college style. They don't huddle. They go up to the line of scrimmage. They look to the sideline college style, and they start flashing signs and whatever, holding up cards and all that stuff. And next thing you know, they're shifting over. The defense doesn't know what's going to happen. DK goes from the outside to the slot. The running back goes to the outside, and so they start moving these guys around. And there was one play in particular I was talking about how if we had one more second, DK was on the outside, and then he shifts to the inside, and a linebacker, it was a major mismatch, a linebacker on DK on the near side, and he did the same kind of move where he went it in and then it out, and if Geno had like just a second longer before he got hit, he would probably have hit him for another wide open touchdown because it was a total mismatch. And that's what Ryan Grubb does. So that's what I'm excited about, the way he designs these formations. So it's very exciting. It's very fun to watch. So, but I got to give you before you go, one other advice, man. I know all of us are skeptical. All of us are wondering, well, I don't know if we really are 3-0. I don't know if we're good as our record says we are. But just enjoy this for a little while, huh? I mean, we're 3-0. We're going to be 3-0 for another week before Monday night. No matter what happens over the weekend, no matter what the 49ers do, no matter what the Cardinals do, no matter what the Rams do, we have a 2-game lead in the division already. So enjoy what it is and just soak it in and just feel good about it and know that we have this foundational elements that are starting to build into something good. And like I said, the biggest weakness right now is just our offensive line, penalties, and pass protection. I think that's going to improve. Everything else is really in good shape early on, barring injuries. That's the only big wild card as to everybody. Obviously, the 49ers and the Rams can attest to. So promise me, PDX Cam, you're going to enjoy this for a week because it's not very often we get to sit on top of the division and know we're going to be sitting there for at least 2 weeks because, no matter what, I mean, we're going to be we're still going to be ahead of everybody, for more than a week before the next weekend's over. So got to love it.
Yeah, there is no, trust me, I'm enjoying this just as much as I can be because watching the last game, it was nice actually seeing a game where I wasn't having 6 heart attacks watching this team. But the fact that we're able to sit at 3-0, one of the few teams that's at 3-0, I'm going to enjoy it as long as I can. But there will always be that little doubt in my mind. But at least I'll try to fully enjoy it till next Monday.
Well, I'm telling you, it's a good place to be knowing that we haven't played our best yet. We're certainly not at the peak. We have a lot of room to grow, but it's nice to feel like, well, we're learning as we go, but we're sitting undefeated and top of the division while we're doing it. That's a pretty damn good place to be. So, all right, PDX Cam, appreciate you, and thanks for being a NorbFam member. I appreciate your support of my channel, man. All right, go Hawks. Thanks for calling.
Hawks.
All right, let's go down the list to, I think it's the one I think it's Jacob Cook. I believe he's the next one on the line, if I'm not mistaken, for the 425. Is this Jacob?
Hey. Yeah.
Jacob, what's going on? How you feeling tonight?
Hey. I was at the game yesterday.
Oh, what a great game it was. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, I had fun. I was on the section 329.
You weren't too far from me. That means you're in the southwest corner. I used to be in 331. Yeah, the southwest corner of I was just a little bit north from where you were. But yeah, what did you think? What do you think about this team, man? Are you a believer?
Yeah.
Or are you a pessimist about what we have?
We can definitely win next week.
You feel confident about next week?
Yeah. I think we'll beat the Lions.
Oh, okay. You got a score prediction? I don't even have a score prediction quite yet. At least I'm not going to reveal it. But what's your score prediction? How close of a game we have next week? I think both games we've had, we had to go into overtime for last year's game to win it, and prior to that, I think it was less than it was definitely a one-score game. So, what do you got? How confident are you in this game?
I think it's probably going to be a pretty close game, maybe 24-17.
Yeah, not too unlike what we just had. I think that could be. Although I feel like these offenses are going to put up higher numbers against each other. These are two high-flying offenses that the numbers might be a little bit higher in this game. They might be forced to be in the upper 20s or low 30s. But we'll see. It's going to be a fun one for sure. What was your favorite part of the game yesterday?
Probably when DK made that pretty cool catch.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that one was cool.
At what point? I know I was nervous. I was nervous at 17-3, but there was a point where it felt like, man, if they score a touchdown, this could be a one-score game. This would completely change things. Were you ever nervous at any point during the game? Honestly.
Yeah, when that Dolphins got a pick against Geno.
Yeah, the second pick, right, late in the game?
Yeah,
or the first one?
Second, yeah.
Yeah, actually, well, both of them sucked. The first one at the 5-yard line was bad enough, and then have a second one at midfield. It's like, no. But that 98-yard drive at the end was something to behold, though. That was awesome. You going to be going to any other games, or was this like a special opportunity? Or you're a season ticket holder?
Maybe I'll go.
Yeah.
Do another game. I don't
know. Maybe you brought some good luck, so you should go to another game. When the 49ers come in, because we'll need all the luck we can get when it comes to the 49ers coming to town, and the Rams for that matter, and the Cardinals for that matter. Those games are going to be tough no matter what our record is. So, all right. Well, Jacob, thanks for coming on the line for me, and hopefully you get to another game, all right? All right. You have a good night.
Bye.
Have a good one, man.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to the 360. The 360. Let's see. Let's find out who this is. From the 360, who's this?
Hey, Norb, it's Matthew.
Matthew, remind me where you're from.
I live up in Western Washington. I live about 10 minutes away from the border. I actually met you at the Tom Grossi fan event in Seattle.
Oh yeah, when Grossi came down to Seattle and he did his stadium tour, multi-city tour, we were all camped out there on the sidewalk in front of T-Mobile Park. Yeah, that was a fun time. That was a fun time. Well,
yeah, that was fun.
What do you think of the team, man? How big of a believer are you?
For next week or just
just where we are. I mean, how legit do you think this team is?
As of right now, I don't know because like our level of competition hasn't been the best so far, and I don't believe we're playing our best. But hey, it's great when you make mistakes when you win, because you don't look back on them and go, oh man, if we did this, we could have won the game. But our competitions are going to get tougher because I mean we got the Lions next week, we got the 49ers, we got the Packers, we got the Giants. Actually, I'm just kidding on the Giants; they suck. But
well, they got to win this week. They beat the Browns, so it's a lot of shockers this past weekend. The Panthers beating the Raiders, the Giants beating the Browns. Like, what cats and dogs? Going crazy. What's happening?
It's just chaos, and it's just chaos.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. But I like our chances against the Giants. But we got bigger animals to worry about, and that's the Lions next week. So
yep.
I mean that's the true test, right? If you believe in the Seahawks being 3-0 and that they are truly deserving of that record, well, you got to believe they got a good chance that they could beat the Lions next week. Do you think they'll beat the Lions next week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
I truly don't know because for some reason the Seahawks usually always beat the Lions. They haven't beaten us since 2012, and last year we came in not looking good against the Rams. And they just beat the Chiefs, and I was like, look, I just want a close game because maybe that'll give me some confidence. We ended up beating them, but not only did we beat them, the offense looked better. Defense got some turnovers, and Geno Smith, who everyone was complaining about, he can't lead an offense. He led a pretty good game-winning drive down the field. So I was like, where are you all at now? So, yeah, it's going to be a good one. I think we can win, but it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, and that's one thing that drives me nuts is the Geno haters they never stop hating on Geno, and it doesn't matter what he does. They never give him credit for what he does. They either dismiss what he did for it was some fluky thing, or they'll say, oh yeah, he's pretty decent, but he'll never get us to a Super Bowl. I think that the only way he's ever going to prove to everybody and make them believe that he can win a Super Bowl is to win a Super Bowl. And even if he wins the Super Bowl, I still think they won't believe in him. They'll say, oh, well, it's the defense, and that is why we won. The guy gets no respect.
He had 5 game-winning drives last year, which was the most in the NFL, and he could have had 6 if Jason Myers didn't miss a 55-yard kick.
I know, he missed it by that much. And we would have been in the playoffs last year, too.
That's true, but would we have gotten rid of Pete Carroll if we made the playoffs?
Yeah, I know.
So far, Mike McDonald's been doing pretty good, and I don't want to go out and say Pete Carroll's a bad coach, but as of right now, I'm really loving Mike McDonald right now. He's bringing a new era in. Like, the defense is doing phenomenal. The offense, the offense needs work, but I'm like, hey, we're just I said, we're winning these games with mediocre offensive play, and I'm okay with that. Like, our Ryan Grubb, this is his first NFL experience, though. I wasn't expecting him to come in and be like, yo, we're scoring 40 points a game. As of right now, it's okay. Wait till he's more experienced. So then, therefore, when we're late in the season or in 2025, it's like, hey, I'm getting the idea of this NFL thing. Oh yeah, now we're really getting going.
Yeah. I respect and I appreciate everything Pete Carroll did while he was here. I still wanted him to go one more year just to try to see if he can get, get one more before he retired, but I must say that I am not disappointed, and I love what McDonald and his staff have brought to the Seahawks. And it was a refreshing change that felt like it was something needed in this current state of the NFL, particularly in the NFC West, because the coaches, Shanahan and McVay, the schemes they run are much more sophisticated and complex than what Pete Carroll was running. Pete Carroll was very simple, and it worked great in 2013, 2014 when we had a rookie quarterback on a minimum salary, third-round salary, with lines that went deep, like 2 layers deep, and so we didn't have to do much. And we had Earl Thomas at free safety. You could play one high free safety and let Cam Chancellor lurk in the middle, and had 2 lockdown, pretty dominating corners. You can't go wrong with that formula. The problem is we couldn't keep that forever, and eventually, the pieces, we lost the talent in those pieces, and that simplicity of that scheme didn't work anymore once we didn't have that combination of all that talent. Now, I feel like with McDonald's scheme, you can have not top A talent like we had back in 2013, but he knows how to get the most of his talent, despite the fact that by scheme and by coaching, he gets players, maximum value out of them without them being necessarily top tier players. And it's because he uses tactics and scheme to confuse and misdirect and not be not unpredictable is the main thing. They're unpredictable, and that's a huge advantage that we have had this year that we haven't had in previous years. So. So I'm excited. I'm totally excited. But anyway, thanks for the call, man. I'm going to take some other callers as people are waiting on the line. But thanks for calling in, man. We'll do this again, and we'll see where we are after the Lions game.
Yeah.
All right.
And one last thing. I'll make this quick. I'm actually taking a friend of mine to the Rams game on November 3rd. So if possible, it'd be cool to see you there.
I will be there. And, usually I'll try to go down to Touchdown City before the games and try to meet up with people and meet up with the Seahawkers organization down there. So I will be there. So, message me beforehand, and we'll try to meet up. All right?
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
All right. Appreciate the call.
All right.
Go Hawks. All right, let's go to, that was a good call. Let's go to the 916. Where's the 916? Here we go. 916. 916, what's going on?
Hey, what you doing, Norb? This is Jason Wolf.
Hey, Jason Wolf, what's going on? I recognize the name. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Just on your site tonight and about the game yesterday, and there's some things that really upset me about our defense.
Okay.
First thing is we don't cause any turnovers, and you could beat teams with Miami without causing any turnovers. But when we're going to play against Detroit at Detroit on a primetime game at night, the home team always gets that hype, that pump up for the home game on a primetime game. And if we can't get any turnovers, I don't know if we're going to have a chance at winning. And a second thing I wanted to bring up, Bradford. I have a comparison to Bradford, and I was wondering if you could see it yourself or if anybody else in there could see it themselves. But I see Bradford a lot like James Carpenter. He has talent, but he loses concentration, kind of a hothead. I was wondering what you think about that.
That's a pretty fair comparison. You're talking about our right guard, Anthony Bradford, who you watch in my videos, you can see I get very frustrated with number 75 at right guard. He's got a lot of penalties. He's missed a lot of blocks, especially pass protection, and he is oftentimes, gets flagged he's getting flagged for unnecessary roughness because he's busy having a skirmish with another guy, pancaking him to the ground when the play's not even in his area. I like the aggressiveness. You want guys who are going to be kind of tough dirt bags, as Jim Morrow way back in 2008 used to say, or 2009. But the bottom line is you got to not have penalties and short circuit the offense, and you've got to do your job first before you do all that other stuff. And so that's a pretty fair comparison, I'd say. And I'm just wondering, why is Christian Haynes, why is he not playing more? Because he started to get some snaps in place, like they were switching back and forth between him and Bradford. And then last week, or this game yesterday, I don't think he played at all. They still had Bradford in the whole time. So I'm wondering, what's up with Haynes? Is there something wrong with him? Or is he not as good as they thought, to the point where they would rather play a number 75 Bradford who's having his own issues, that he's not even good enough to replace him? That's concerning to me. That's something that's hard to tell. You can go to training camp, but they don't hit each other, so it's really hard to evaluate what linemen are doing. But that's concerning, because the fact that he's not getting more playing time is a little bit concerning to me. I've been hoping they'd put him in, because I had faith that he'd be a good replacement, but they're not doing it for some reason. So that's it's a little nerve-wracking. So I'm hoping we get George Fant back. And at some point we get Abe Lucas back. Abe Lucas has been in practice just kind of running lines and stuff, so he's making slow progress, but who knows when he's actually going to hit the field. But I don't know, maybe it gets bad enough. If they can't put Haynes in there, maybe they move Fant into guard on the right side and put Abe Lucas, and maybe that'll be a good combination. I don't know. We have options, but right now those options are thin because everybody's injured. So I'm hoping once we get those guys back, they'll have some options to move guys around. I figure if you can play right tackle, you should be able to step in at guard. At least that's my thought, because tackle is much harder position. But yeah, I feel you, man. It's the one thing that I feel like is shooting ourselves in the foot. Anthony Bradford is like a 4-letter word right now. Drives me crazy.
And I wouldn't be totally against. Maybe this isn't the week to try to experiment against Detroit on Monday night, but as bad as Laken Tomlinson has been, wouldn't be against him trying to put Christian Haynes either at left guard or maybe put him at right guard and give Olu a chance to play left guard or right guard.
Yeah.
You can't do what Bradford and Laken Tomlinson are.
And I'm going to have to, I cut off your line. For some reason, your connection is really breaking apart. I think I heard you saying that you wouldn't mind seeing them experiment, maybe putting Christian Haynes at left guard. I don't know if you've ever suggesting we move Tomlinson to right guard. I'm not exactly thrilled with either of our guards, to be honest with you. So I feel like Bradford's the one who's struggling the most. Tomlinson also, a second most, frustrating lineman. So yeah, I don't know the solution there. We're just thin and don't have a lot of options. So I don't know what they're going to do there, because it's not like suddenly they're going to have linemen growing on trees, or the guys are going to suddenly turn into something that they're not. So it's the biggest issue. It's the biggest thing that I feel like, if anything's going to hold us back from becoming a true top-tier team that potentially could make it to the Super Bowl, it's going to be our offensive line, sadly, and those two key positions. So we'll see what happens. But thanks for the call, Mr. Wolf. And hopefully we can connect next time with a little better connection. Let me go to the 571. Name says Mary. I have a feeling it's not Mary who's on the line, though. We'll find out. From the 571, who's this?
Hey, Norb, it's Dominic, the proud Commanders fan. What's up?
Commanders fan. Okay. I was watching the game and I didn't actually finish it. How did it end? Did the Commanders win the game?
It's Dominic, by the way, Norb. What's up,
Dominic?
Bud?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did that game turn out? Did the Commanders won, right? Tonight?
Yeah, 38-33. We're 2-1.
Wow. And the Bengals, holy crap. Man, just some unexpected things in here. But yeah, 2-1. Congratulations on the win, Commanders. Off to a good start.
Thanks. But I want to talk about the Seahawks. Bro, DK went off on Sunday. He went crazy.
Yeah, they sure did. 79 yard touchdown? Or 71 yard touchdown play, I think. Yeah, is that 71. Twice in 2 games to go for a big bomb play.
Yeah, and Geno threw for nearly 300. He might have thrown 2 picks, but he threw for nearly 300 yards. What are your thoughts on Geno through the first 3 weeks?
Yeah, he threw for 289 yards yesterday. 26 of 34 with 2 picks and a touchdown. All right, my feeling about Geno is, he hasn't been perfect. Yeah, the 2 picks look bad on his record, but I don't believe those picks were on Geno. They were, first one was he was under pressure in the end zone, had to get rid of the ball. He never should have been thrown in the first place, and it went off the receiver's hands. He had to kind of throw it kind of high because he was being tackled at the time. Went off the hands and then deflected, intercepted. So I don't put that one on Geno. It's not like, for me, if the interception just shows up as a stat, but to me, it's like if you throw a ball, definitely if you throw a ball in a bad area or you throw a ball that's, clearly just a bad throw that goes to the opponent. I put that more of a negative play against the quarterback. In this case, it really wasn't like he made a bad decision. It wasn't like he made a terrible read or bad pass. It was just bad luck and a bad situation. The second one, bad at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a lucky play. I mean, how often does that happen when a ball gets bad in the air, it goes flying up, and then a lineman catches it? I mean, that happens like once every 5 games or something. That was his one. And so, other than that, he's been pretty. It's been pretty good. And he's been. If you look at all the other throws he had, where he was moving the team, especially in that last drive of 98 yards to seal the game, he looked outstanding. And if he has time, he can deliver the ball in great windows. It's usually when he's under pressure that things don't go his way. So I put more of the blame when things don't go well on his throws. Usually it's an issue of pass protection than it is Geno as a quarterback. So I have a lot of faith in Geno, especially with the new systems he's in under Ryan Grubb. I talked at length already about the designs and the schemes and the way they come up to the line and move things around so that the defense doesn't really know what to expect and they get mismatches and things like that. And Geno seems to be running that offense with efficiency and on time. And if not for penalties and some bad pass protection times, we should have won that game like 40. We should have been around 40 points yesterday. We left a lot of points on the board that we should have had because of just miscues, mostly by the offensive line. But yeah, no, I think Geno's great. I think I don't know why a lot of people keep hating on him, but I think he's a lot better than most people give him credit for. What do you think?
Oh man, through the first 3 weeks, call me crazy when I say this, but I think he's looking like prime Russ when he was with the Seahawks. You get what I'm saying?
Prime Russ. Well, I don't know if I can even compare those two because Russ has always had such a different game. You really look back at Russell Wilson. What made him great was just going off script and running around and ad-libbing and breaking the pocket and making all these tremendous circus type of scenarios, which is fun and exciting, and we loved it for such a long time. But really the problem is he couldn't stick with the planned plays, which is like your bread and butter, like drop back, hit the guy across the middle. He didn't do that as consistently as he was able to do the off-script wild stuff. And unfortunately, now that he's older and slower, he can't do that stuff anymore. It's just age has kind of caught up to him, and here he is. He finds himself one of the highest-paid quarterbacks sitting on the bench over in Pittsburgh. But I don't know if I could compare the two because Geno does not. That's not his game. He's not a mobile running quarterback. He's not a scramble around quarterback. He's a drop back pocket passer who will run when he has to. And so very different style of games, but of the way they play the game. But as far as effectiveness, yeah, he's effective in a different way, in a way where when Russ was leading teams and leading the team and getting a lot of wins, it feels like Geno is the guy fully in command of that offense. I'll give you that comparison. Well, so do you believe in the Seahawks? Do you think, from a Commander's standpoint, a Commander's fan standpoint, outside perspective, how real do you believe the Seahawks are in terms of a top team threat in the NFC?
Ooh, man. Like you said, you got the Lions next Monday, and that's going to be a really, really tough test for Geno Smith. Hate to say this, but I think y'all will get your first loss of the season next Monday.
Okay. That's very possible. I think it's a 50-50 type game. We'll see what I haven't actually looked at the spread yet. I need to check that out. But, yeah. Who do you think is the best team in the NFC? Who do you think is the best team in the NFC? There's only a handful of undefeated teams left. So who do you think is the best undefeated team in the NFC? Or is it even an undefeated team that you consider the best team?
I mean,
let me break it down for
I
you.
would
So
honestly
in the NFC, here we go. So in the NFC, there's only a couple of undefeated teams left. That would be the Seahawks and the Vikings. Everybody else's top of their divisions are 2-1, including Washington and then New Orleans, who are 2-1 after they lost yesterday to the Eagles. So who do you think right now is the? Oh, and I think Packers too. Well, Packers and Detroit are 2-1. So who do you think right now is the top dog in the NFC?
I gotta say it's the Vikings. Like, Kevin O'Connell is making Sam Darnold look like a future MVP. I don't care what anyone else says.
Oh, I'm shocked out of my mind, man. I had when J.J. McCarthy was out, I was like, oh, they're screwed. And here they are just killing it big time. And yeah, Sam Darnold, like, where did that come from? Where did he suddenly get resurrected? They're getting in the Geno effect here in 2024. It's pretty amazing. Can they keep that going? I don't know. They got pretty stout defense. Also a very top high-paid receiver, which DK will be next year, by the way. Pretty good running game. I mean, they're a solid team. So can they keep it going? We'll see. And we're going to face them too later in the year, so it's going to be interesting. But yeah, we don't play you guys this year. We don't play the Commanders this year. The only way we're going to play you guys is if we end up in the playoffs. So that won't be for months from now. So. Well, we'll see, man. But congratulations for the win and being 2-1. You know, and you got our former defensive coordinator, head coaching you guys now, right, Dan Quinn?
Yeah, and we've also got one of your former linebackers.
Bobby
Wagner.
You got Bobby Wagner. How's he doing out there? I haven't watched your games. So I haven't really seen. You happy with him?
Oh yeah, he's been great on our D line. He has been so great. Thanks.
Well, I'd like to say you're welcome, but I love Bobby. I'm glad. I wish him nothing but success, and I wish he could have come back and stayed a Seahawk. But the guys we got are doing pretty good too. So it would have been interesting to see Bobby Wagner in this scheme because I think he could have really flourished. It would have been nice to see him one more year under Mike McDonald, but who knows? Yep. We might run into each other later down the year. So, all right. Well, thanks for the call, man. Good luck on the rest of the season. All right.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks for the call. We're going to keep moving along here while the time is running low here. Let's go to the 423 area code. 423, what's up? Who's this?
Hello, North.
Who is this?
Coach Mesh.
Coach Mesh. So I thought this voice sounds familiar. Could it be? It is the one and only Coach Mesh. I haven't seen you in a long time, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. You can sound a little more excited, man. You sound like you're like half asleep, but it is kind of late, so it's all right. Well, what do you think, man? What do you think about these 3-0 Seahawks in first place? Believer or critic?
I think we should have scored more points against Miami.
This is true. Can't argue with that.
What?
This is true. Can't argue with that. Like I said a minute ago, we should have put 40 points on the board. But do you think we can? Do you think we can? You think we can win next week? Because I think if we beat the Lions next week, the nation and the critics of the world will be talking a different song about the Seahawks if they can pull it off.
I think the first true test will be against Alena. That's the game that I'm not. Surely.
You're overlooking the Lions and thinking Atlanta's got more weight than this game? You're saying if we beat Detroit, you're still not going to believe. You're saying that if we could beat the Lions, you're going to still be going, I just don't know. I need to see them beat the Falcons before I truly believe in this Seahawks team. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I believe we can beat the next 3 teams.
That would be that would be the Lions, the Giants, and the 49ers, right?
Yes.
Wow. So you're looking ahead past those three teams. One of them, I believe, the Giants. We can look past that. But 49ers, and even up the 49ers, who have had our number for like the past, I don't know, 3 seasons. And you're worried about the Falcons?
I think it's different though. I think it's a different year, different coach. So you don't know what to expect.
That's true. I wish we were playing the Niners now while they're banged up, because they're going to get those guys back eventually. With the question, will they get back in time for they could get CMC back just in time for our game. They could get Deebo Samuel just in time for our game. And I don't know about Kittle. That would suck. They get all their weapons back right in time for our game. It's like, man, go figure. But interesting. So you're more concerned about Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta almost pulled it off against KC yesterday. Almost.
Mm-hmm.
But the Falcons
were only... of Kirk Cousins, mainly.
Yeah, but the Falcons are 1-2. I mean, granted, they should have won 2 of those games. They could have been 3-0 theoretically, but
we've kind of had. Sometimes we've kind of had Kirk Cousins' number. Sometimes we haven't had.
We used to have Kirk Cousins' number, and then he kind of got started getting the best of us in the last couple of meetings. He beat us when he was with the Vikings last time, and yeah, I mean, he could be good. Kirk Cousins is, he's. I don't think they didn't lose because of Kirk Cousins. I think they lost because they made a bad play. They lost because they didn't kick the field goal last night. They should have kicked the field goal, and then they would have gotten the ball and would have had to just have a field goal to win the game. I'm telling you, there's too many teams not taking the points. I don't know what it is. Analytics, the what do you call it? The number thing. Too many teams. All of a sudden, the metrics. Everybody is going to this whole go for it instead of kicking the field goal, which I think is one of the dumbest things. They're missing prime opportunity to get points that bite them later. They got to rethink
touchdown
that.
Is nice, but you can't. But it's hard to get touchdown.
Well, 4th down and 1, 4th down and 2, it's not easy. And when you got a field goal just waiting right there, a pretty surefire thing. And the Detroit Lions would have been in the Super Bowl if they just kicked a field goal. The Falcons would have won that game last night if they kicked a field goal. Anyway, it's something that's been driving me crazy lately. But we'll see what happens. I hope Dan Campbell goes super aggressive and he screws up again and loses the game like he did against us because he's too aggressive and goes for it instead of kicking the field goal.
I will say something about the Detroit game, though.
Okay, one more thing before I take another call. What you got?
I think we'll win that one because I know Jared Goff does not like pressure throughout his history of being a quarterback.
Yeah, he's won some pretty good pressure games, but you're right. I mean, their team in general has not. Well, clearly last year they folded under pressure and didn't make it in, so didn't get to the big game. And we have beaten them 2 years in a row when really they should have beaten us. Maybe the pressure did get to them, and maybe there's more truth to that than we realize. I hope you're right, though. I hope Dan Campbell goes over-aggressive and messes up, and I hope the pressure gets to Jared Goff and we go 4-0 and beat the Lions in front of a national audience. That'd be hella awesome for the Seahawks. That'd change the narrative for sure. All right, man. I'm going to go take another calls as we're wrapping things up, but it's good to hear from you, man.
Yep.
All right. Take care, man. All right. I got Anish coming up in here, but I'm going to go to, let's see, this Kirk from the 323. Who's this? Is this Kirk from the 323?
Yes, sir. Let me hear it. Let me hear it. See.
Hawks!
See.
Hawks!
See.
Hawks! All right, man.
Yeah, we need a little bit of excitement. We 3-0, baby. We 3-0.
I know. I was talking to Coach Mesh. He was putting me to sleep with his monotone. I was like, dude, give me some excitement. All right, finally somebody with some.
We need some little excitement, man. We 3-0, baby. We looking good. I don't care what nobody say, man. We starting off great.
That's what I'm talking about.
We got to stay positive, man.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
Take it all the way.
Own that 3-0, man. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, you've been playing nobody. Oh, you play rookie quarterbacks. Ah, Tua was well. I'm sorry that's the way the schedule worked out. What do you want me to do about it?
We got to be proud of that.
That's right. I'm not going to apologize.
We got to be very proud of that.
I'm not going to apologize. Well, I'm sorry we got 3-0 because Tua was hurt. Sorry, we don't deserve it. I'd give it back if I could. No, man. It's the way the schedule. It's the way the schedule announces.
We're not giving nothing back either. We taking it all. We go keep this train. We go keep it going. We don't need no negative energy. We need to stay positive because we for sure taking this all the way.
Wow, you're taking it all the way. All the way.
Yeah, we're taking it all the way this year. Like I feel real good about this season, man. And we just gotta stay positive. I know everything is a roller coaster, but don't expect nothing to be perfect. But we do have to stay positive. We're looking good so far. Until something happens, then everybody can start, saying, okay, we need to fix this, and this. But just let everything happen the way it's happening.
Man,
and
I thought
everything will fall in place at the right time.
I thought I was the positive guy, but man, you take the cake, man.
Man, I'm actually I'm in LA, man. I'm in California. I'm a diehard Seahawks fan. Ever since the Rams came out here, I've been to every Seahawks and Rams game, all the way in, green and blue, all green and blue, neon green and blue all the way.
Did you go to the game when it was in the Coliseum before they had the new stadium?
Yes, I did. That was, it was great. That was actually the first game that I went to, the first home game that I went to when the Rams played out here.
Yeah, I think I was there. I was at the Coliseum in that one season when they played out there. I was sitting at the very, very top of the thing. Like my head was like at the edge of the Coliseum, but I got to be in the building. But
man, I just want to say it's a pleasure speaking with you, man. Very pleasure. I'm very excited and talking to you. Just how much of a Seahawks fan I am speaking with you. I know you're a fan. You're a legend. And I just want to give you your flowers and say, me and all the other Seahawks fans appreciate you and everything you do, man.
Man, you just made my night, man. You made me feel special. So appreciate it.
No problem,
I appreciate
man. That's
it.
what we're here for, man. We have to motivate and hey, keep each other positive. That's all, man. That's what we're here for. We're here to keep each other hopes high, man. Because we got this, man. At the end of the day, it's nothing to worry about. We all here together. That's why we got the name the 12s, man. We stick together.
That's right. That's like my friend Mark says. When the people ask him, so what do you think our record's going to be? We're going to be 17-0 until they prove me otherwise. And so far, we're 3-0. So
that's me all day.
3 down, 14 to go, baby. But yeah, I appreciate that.
Let me just quick thing. So my thing about the next game, I feel like we're going to win either by 3 or 7 points, either or 7 or 3. But we're going to win. I don't know what the score will be, but we're going to win by 7 or 3.
Man, okay, it's going to be close. It's going to be a nail biter. In other words,
are you going to the Rams game?
You're talking the Rams game in LA?
Yeah, in LA.
Not sure yet. It's a tough year. This is my daughter's last year. She's senior year. She's playing volleyball, so I have a lot of time invested between doing volleyball related stuff because I'm the PA announcer, I'm the video guy, so I do all this stuff to hype up her team as well as juggle with doing the stuff with the Seahawks. After this, it's going to be very different because I'm going to be much more time free to really devote to being a Seahawks fan, both on the road and at home. So I'm not sure yet. I'll have to see how it goes because I have yet to go to SoFi yet. So it's long overdue to get to SoFi.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I know. It looks awesome.
The last game, so I'm more worried about every game that we have coming up. I'm honestly more worried about the Rams game because you got to think about it. They beat us twice the last game. The last 2 games they won. I know that was last year, but I'm just saying, man. I don't know. It's something about the Rams. I was literally staring at the ball when we missed that field goal, dude. That last game hurt so bad. Oh,
we should have won that game. We were up 14-0.
I'm very excited to go to the SoFi Stadium and represent and scream the Seahawks so bad because I want us to win. Just because, what the Rams did. So that's the game I'm worried about. But I think we got this.
Well, hey, man, you have been a nice breath of fresh air. I'm going to have to do these call-in shows more often because I got to get more people like you on the show, man. So I love it.
Man, most definitely. Hopefully I've run into you in person, man. My name is Flex. If you ever see me, I'll say, hey, I'm Flex. Then hopefully you remember me and we get to, hang out, whatever, man.
Wait, so your real name is Kirk, but you go by Flex? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes, sir.
I gotta make a note of that.
Everybody call me Flex. You remember me by Flex.
Flex. Okay. What, you're like a big bodybuilder or something? Where does that come from?
I explain it to you in person.
Okay, all right. It'll make sense when I see you.
Right. Well,
okay.
you have a good night. I don't want to hold it up, but
no problem, man. Hawks!
You damn right. Have a good night, bro.
I love it, brother. Thank you.
Later.
All right. Man, that was the call of the year right there. Oh, and a super chat to follow from Saijan, another longtime follower. Thank you for all that you do. Hashtag Seahawks. Thanks, Saijan. Appreciate the support. And all you guys who've been calling tonight. Man, what a lot of fun. I got to go to Anish here. Anish is a longtime Seahawks fan who I haven't seen in a while, but we always connect. Comes from across the border. Anish, what's going on?
Man, how much just to follow up with that call? That was a great call.
That was a great call. I love the energy. I love the enthusiasm. We need more of that in this community, man. Yeah, what you doing, man? Were you at the last game? Were you at the game yesterday?
No, you know what? It's the first game I've missed. I had some stuff I'm dealing with up here. But
man,
I'm not missing any more games. Yeah, it sucked. I had to miss this game, unfortunately, last minute. But you know what? I'll be at the Giants game. I'll have to come see you because it's been a long time.
It has been a long time.
So I'll have to come. I'll come find you.
Quick shout out to Lori Cross. Good, amazing Seahawker, big supporter of my channel. Lori Cross has to get out of here. Lori Cross, thanks for hanging out in here. Yeah, man, definitely the Giants game. We'll just have to connect, and hopefully we take care of business that night. But how do you feel, man? I'm sure you watched the game. Were you able to watch the game when it was happening yesterday?
Yeah, I did watch the game. Impressive, regardless of what other fans that you read online and my other friends are saying. They're fans of other teams. You take your wins as you get them. You beat who's on the schedule at the end of the day, like other people said. There's no reason to say sorry for being 3-0. We're 3-0 at the end of the day, and that was a great win. You know what? It's that defense is looking really good right now. The Mike McDonald defense, or the defense they put together, the coaching staff and John Schneider. It's still early, but that Detroit game is going to be a big test. Obviously, they know how to put up points, but I'm really confident. Really like what I'm seeing from this defense, man. I think that this defense is really good. Like our wide receivers are three-headed monster. With Smith and Najigba, and obviously BK and Kyler.
Yeah, don't forget the tight ends. Getting Noah Fant in the mix in that too. Is a four-headed monster when you start putting the tight end into the game.
Well, exactly. I mean, think about our depth there. Do you think? I mean, if you look at around the league, I think honestly, obviously unbiased or maybe biased, you can call it. I think it's one of the best in the league out there. Can you name a team that's better than that? Like those three guys, maybe better wide receivers, possibly, potentially, like your Jefferson and stuff. But you got three guys, and then you got Fant. Those four guys, that's a lot of depth, right? And that's going to be a handful for teams to stop.
I'm telling you, man, if our O-line can just be pretty good, it's kind of now reminds me last year I was saying if our offense was the same and our defense was just average, we'd be in the playoffs and could make some noise. Now it's our defense is fantastic. Now if our offensive line could just be average, our offense is going to be practically unstoppable because right now we have like a very poor to below average line, and look what we're still doing regardless of that because we do have, I think, a very good quarterback, a good running game. It will be even better when K9 gets back. And yes, we have, I think, one of the best wide receiver tight end core in the entire NFL if you put the whole thing together.
And Abe Lucas come back too. And Abe Lucas is coming back,
right.
And we got guys come back too. So
that's right.
And
we're not even in full strength yet, and if we ever get to full strength with both on the offense and defense, man, it's going to be something else because it's already fun to watch.
Absolutely.
But yes,
absolutely. And again, you know what? I just want to say, thanks for the doing the show. Really appreciate it for the fans and stuff. We appreciate everything you do. Like other callers have said, it's you have a busy schedule, and the fact that you take the time to do all this is really appreciative from us, right? So.
Well, I love to do it. I wish I could just do this nonstop. Unfortunately, I can't. But I love doing it when I can, and this reminds me of how much fun it is. I'm glad I wasn't even sure if I was going to do the show tonight, and I thought if I don't do it tonight, it's going to be hard because I got a volleyball match tomorrow. Yeah. Wednesday night I got a thing. Thursday night's volleyball. Friday my older daughter comes back from college. So I was like, man, I got to do it tonight, or I might not even have enough time. It'll feel like a long time ago when that game was already over. So very rewarding to be able to talk to you guys and get some of these thoughts out there. But yeah, man, it's going to be a fun ride for sure, man. It's just to dare to dream a little bit. If we could somehow protect Geno from Aiden Hutchinson from getting our backfield, and if we can just have some semblance of a decent pass protection, and if our defense can just keep doing what they're doing, we'll be competitive with the Lions and make it an exciting game. And who knows, maybe we squeak out of there with a win. And can we imagine them going 4-0? That would
building
be
that lead in the
just
NFC West,
something.
right? That's what you want to do. Get some cushion, in that NFC West as well, right? If the way San Francisco's battling with some injuries now, and see LA, and it's all about it's everyone obviously early in the year it's consistency, right? But getting that early jump right now is big. Come towards the end of the season. Don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's the next game. It's one snap at a time. One
snap at a time. That's right.
But
one call.
But
at a
thanks for
time.
taking the call, bud. Giants game. We'll definitely have to come see you.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan, man. All right, well, you take care. Hope everything's well with you, and we'll see you in a couple weeks or so.
Yep, you got it, bud.
All right,
appreciate it.
Take care, man. All right, that was great. Let's go to 253. That's a local number here down in Auburn, just south of where I'm at. 253. This number looks familiar. Remind me whose this is.
What's going on, Norb?
Not much, man. Just enjoying the ride. How about you?
I'm good. You remember me? It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, and that's what I say. I recognize the number, but I forget the name, man. Remind me.
This is Devin.
Oh, Devin! This is. How did I not recognize the voice? Devin Coy, what's going on? What's going on, man? How you doing? It's been too long.
I'm good, man. I know. I just been busy. I've just been waiting for this promotion, so I have been just working nonstop. And then I catch your streams every once in a while, but since I'm at work, I can't put in the call, and I can't join in the call like I'd like to. So now that I got the days off, I'm able to join in.
Yeah, man. Well, how's everything? I know you had last time we were connecting. You were always you always had your younger brothers and sisters around you, and you were being like the babysitter, taking care of them. How are they all doing?
Oh yeah, they all grown. The youngest one, she's in kindergarten now. Her birthday was on the 18th. They just going real fast. So
yeah,
it's actually insane.
That's good. Things are going well with you. You said you got a promotion?
I'm waiting for one. Like I'm next up for like a store of my own. So
okay.
I'm just waiting. Just staying patient, just working hard.
Yeah.
I have been staying up with the Hawks too. And from what it looks like, we look really good so far. My favorite player on defense right now is Terrell Dotson. That dude's everywhere.
He is, man. I loved it too. I was really nervous because, for a while there during the offseason, we didn't have any of our linebackers showing up for practice. They were all banged up or out for whatever reason. I was like, man, we aren't going to see these guys until the first game. And then what's that going to look like? Jordan Brooks and Bobby Wagner's replacements, not even chance to sneak peek at them, and they came out that first game. I was like, wow, Dotson's everywhere, man. Who is this number 0 just flying all over the place? And loved it, man. So he's been fun. He got the sack on the blitz yesterday. I heard him. They were talking about how they said, as soon as you see this certain formation that the Dolphins run, you just go. And he just delayed blitz. Nobody touched him, and bang, laid out that quarterback on his back. It was a thing of beauty. I love it. It's so cool.
I've actually never thought about it, but when we let go of Bobby and Brooks, they were like, oh, those guys were bottom 25 in coverage, right? And then they signed Terrell Dotson, and we signed who else? Who else was that?
Jerome
We
Baker.
signed one more guy.
Jerome Baker.
Yeah, we signed Baker, and they were top 20 in coverage. And I never thought about it like that. But when I see them play, I'm like, I know what they mean by coverage. And then on top of that, when you get the coverage, you get the production of what Bobby and all that did with the tackling, the sacks,
Right.
with the blitzes, all that good stuff, and you get all in one. Like, Bobby's an all-time great, but when it came to coverage, as he got older, he kind of struggled. So having Terrell, having Dotson there and Baker there is super refreshing because we're everywhere now.
Yeah. Well, it's like Father Time was starting to catch up with Bobby, although our Washington fans seem to be pretty pleased with the way Bobby's playing out there. So I don't know. I haven't really got a chance to see him. But we did go younger. This is a really young team, which is exciting. Kind of like LOB all over again.
Right. And people are like, oh, what about the takeaways and all that? We're doing good enough to where, we had a pick or so in the first game, not too many interceptions here or there, but when it comes to the front seven's doing what they need to do because they had six sacks last game. And sure, it's Tua, but it's without Tua, but let's say Tua was there and he scrambled this down the third. In my opinion, I believe it would have been around the same result as far as the sacks and what we would have done to him. Probably would have been a higher score game for the Dolphins for sure. But I would say from what I've seen, I think the outcome from what the defense did would have been almost the same.
It's hard to know, and we'll never know because we will never have played that game. But, watching the Dolphins struggle as they did against Buffalo, it wasn't like they were lighting it up and then all of a sudden he got knocked out and the game changed. It really was. They were down 21 when he got knocked out of the game, so which makes the injury even that much more pointless. But, they were struggling even before then. Now, Bills look really good. After watching them some more tonight, it's like, the Bills are one of the teams to beat out of the AFC. So, looking better than even the Chiefs right now. The Chiefs are not quite humming
and
like they have.
It's actually insane. The Bills were so good. So me and my friend were going head-to-head in fantasy right now. And the Bills were so good. I needed James Cook to cook a little bit more, but they did so much. He, spread it out to all the other players.
Right.
James Cook barely got anything, and I lost because they were too good.
Yeah. It's kind of like our receiving core. I mean, if you got DK on your fantasy team, you're loving the last couple of games. But if you have Tyler Lockett or JSN, it's like you don't know. Lockett had a great first game, and he was kind of quiet in the second game, and then this time he had a few catches. JSN was really hot the other game, and then this one is a little more quieter. But that's why I'm not doing fantasy because it would just drive me crazy. I don't have enough time to do it anyway. But I could just focus and just think about the Seahawks and nothing else. Not be worrying about, I really want the Seahawks to win, but I have blah blah blah's defense. I've got the Detroit defense, so I kind of want the Seahawks not to score a lot of points because I want my fantasy team to go well. But I want the Seahawks to win, so I don't know what to do. Oh God. Anyway, I don't want to have that struggle. I don't want to have that headache. So I'm just focusing on one team, and that's it. So that works for me. But you believe, huh? You feel confident the Seahawks can maintain this?
So far, Mac McDonald has shown, the team, when they get off the field, they've shown professionalism. They've shown, they're not as crazy as last year because I know people have been complaining about, how, when they win, sometimes they celebrate too much or, they have excessive I think Tariq got some criticism for some celebrations he was doing last year or, certain stuff that was going on in the locker room. And now that all looks cleaned up and we're playing really good football on top of it too. So it flipped the whole, he has a culture that he's trying to bring to him and I respect it. He took the basketball hoop away. So I believe, from the beginning, my friends kept asking, what do you think about Mac McDonald? I was like, I'm a Lakers fan too, and we just got a new head coach there. So I was like, I won't know until I see a couple games. And so far, sure, the people we're playing aren't as high level, but there's still teams we need to beat and get out of the way. It's looking really good so far. And we were talking about DK. When you pay somebody 3 years, $75+ million, whatever, right? That's the result. When you see him act up, wanting the ball, you can't blame the guy. The dude is 6'3", 235 pounds.
6'4", I think, actually.
6'4". He runs a 4.3. He's a freak, and I see now Ryan Grubb is finding sure. I feel like DK's like kind of messing with the routes a little bit to get open even more. But the way Ryan Grubbs is doing is feeding him. I'm so happy, and it looks so good because it's refreshing, honestly.
It is.
Instead of we run it on first and second down, and then we have to be forced to pass it. It's just super refreshing seeing something different. And people were saying Ryan Grubbs in college, how he's going to adjust. I think he's adjusting just fine. I just want to see him adjust with better defenses coming up. Because I know we play Detroit. I think we'll be fine, and I think DK's bound for another really big game because I don't think anybody's going to touch him in their secondary. And, when it comes to the 49ers, if they get out of their funk, because I don't know how they lost to the Rams, if they stay in that same funk, everything's looking pretty good for us for the next 3 games because everybody's been saying, next 3 games looks pretty good, but, one game at a time, I feel really good. I am a believer. Yeah. Positivity all the way. Come on.
I love it. Yeah, no, I love it. What's odd about that 49ers game is they really should have won that game because Brock Purdy actually had a really good game, and they were just one drop away from probably winning that game. But they were missing so much talent. They haven't had McCaffrey. Deebo Samuel's out. Kittle was out too. I mean, they're missing 3 out of their 4 superstar offensive weapons. Yet they still should have won that game. So. Just mis-execution late in the game, but they should have won it and should have buried the Rams.
Even with that, on the 49ers, there's a lot of drama surrounding it, right? Brandon Ayuk just got a big contract, and so now it's showing. But at the same time, Jawan Jennings getting 3 touchdowns, they expect more out of Brandon Ayuk. So there's a lot of drama around that team right now. So we're locked in. So hopefully when that time comes, like you said, if they get at least one person back, I'd rather have them get Kittle than Deebo because Deebo is incredibly hard to stop.
Right.
Because Kittle, I think we have decent enough pass, coverage linebackers that we can contain him in a way. So hopefully they stay injured until we play, and then we'll be looking good from then on.
Yeah, well, Christian McCaffrey is the one that scares me the most. But, any one of those guys is a threat. Have PTSD watching those guys running down the field and the defense chasing the back of their jersey.
He's in Germany right now getting checked for tendinitis in his Achilles or whatever.
So, wow. Well, what's exciting from that standpoint is that this is kind of I think of all the 49ers people I've talked to, they all feel like this is kind of the year. They got to make it happen now because if it doesn't happen now, the window's going to close up real fast. And the fact that they're having all these guys in the year that their window is sort of closing to be having these many injury and health issues and all that, couldn't make me happier. To have them stumbling already out of the blocks like they are is better than I could have imagined. Because I had the Niners going 5-0 to start off this season. To see them 1-2 is just a dream, man. So I love it. So look at this.
Norb, you heard about that Madden?
John DeMuro. I just pulled that comment up about the Madden curse. It's like he makes the cover, and next boom, injured.
Right.
Career possibly done. I see somebody mentioning. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Bengals and Burrow. He didn't have the Madden curse. But... All right, man. Well, thanks for calling, man. It's good to hear from you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'll be calling in more often.
Yeah, well, I'll be doing more call-in shows. I haven't done a lot of call-in shows lately, so they're kind of overdue. So I'm glide we got to finally do this. All right, take it easy. Love to the family, man.
All right, my guy. You have a good night.
All right, you too.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Sidegen with the super chat. Man, people appreciate your support. So do we split with the Rams and the Niners? Because initially I had the Niners sweeping us, and I had a split already planned for the Rams. So the question now is, can we split the Niners? Or even better yet, could we possibly sweep these teams? And then maybe the Cardinals now might be the tough one. I had a sweeping the Cardinals. I mean, you might have to switch a Cardinal win, and I might be turned into a 49ers win. We'll see. We'll see. It will be the true test when you go against our division. Let's go to the final phone call that's on the queue right here from the 775. I believe this is in Nevada. What's going on? You're on with NorbCam. Who's this?
This is Susan.
Oh, this is who?
Susan.
Susan. Susan from Las
Yeah,
Vegas?
hi.
Hi. Are you from
Nevada.
Vegas? What
No,
part of Nevada
from
are you?
Nevada.
Yeah, where in Nevada are you from?
Reno.
Oh, from Reno. Okay, I was there not just too long ago, a few years ago. Lovely town. Well, how are you doing tonight, Susan?
I'm good.
Well, thanks for calling in. It's not very often I get a female caller. Usually this is a male-dominated show, except for Alena, who's and Jade, who are my kind of regular female audience members. But yeah, what brings you here tonight? You a big Seahawks fan? Are you a fan of my channel?
Yes, I am.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think of our little team here that's 3-0 and in first place? Are you excited about it? Do you believe in them, or what's your thoughts?
Yes, I do. I believe in the Seahawks so much.
Yeah?
I just got a 12 jersey.
Oh, congratulations. Got the fan on the back? Yeah?
Yeah.
Which one did you get? Did you get the classic, like the modern blue one, the throwback, the white one, the green one? What'd you get?
The modern blue one.
The blue one. Okay.
Yeah.
So you live in Reno. How long have you been a Seahawks fan? Were you ever from Seattle, or are you born and raised in Nevada? Well, how'd you get connected to the Seahawks?
Actually, my sister-in-law is from Seattle,
Okay.
and she turned me on to the Seahawks.
How long ago?
That's how it's been a while.
Okay.
A couple of years.
Okay. Oh, so you're fairly new fan in the scheme of things.
Yeah.
Were you a fan of another team, or you just weren't a fan of football until the Seahawks kind of came on your radar?
Well, I'm from Texas, but I don't like the Cowboys at all.
Good. What about you got the Houston Texans out there too? But
no
never,
way.
Never caught your eye. Okay, so your sister-in-law got you hooked on them. That's cool. Well, now what brought you here? What brought you here to my little channel here? How did you find me? What made you? What brought you here to be calling my little show?
Because I saw you on YouTube.
Okay, recently or just? Or a while ago?
Just right now.
Oh, just now. Well, welcome to the show. I appreciate you coming in and checking out and having the courage to call in. That's awesome.
I hope I'm one of your regulars.
Well, I hope you'll be a regular too. I've got you on my thing now, so anytime you call, I'll see your name on the ID here. So, have you been to any games, or have you just been watching from afar?
I've just been watching on TV.
I gotcha. Well, maybe someday you can come home and watch a game in person. It's quite the experience, I got to tell you.
Yeah, I saw you in your blue and green.
I was wearing my blue and green. My blue and green face paint?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
when you were, whatchamacallit, doing interviews?
Oh, when I was interviewing, was it when I was at the game yesterday, before the game, interviewing fans about the score?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what caught your eye? That's what brought you here?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Well, I'm glad you found me, and I hope you'll stick around. There's a lot of cool stuff if you haven't seen it already. Like, have you seen my music prediction video yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you need to go. You need to go into YouTube and look at my other videos, because there's quite a lot that you probably haven't experienced yet. It's quite the plethora. You can spend all day there looking at NorbCam videos, and you'll be entertained. At least I think so. But what do you think about our chances against the Detroit Lions next week? Do you think we're going to get a win there, or are you nervous about the game?
I think we're going to win.
Yeah? What makes you confident? What makes you think we're going to win?
DK Metcalf.
DK. That's a good reason.
DK. I'm a true fan of DK Metcalf.
Yeah, there's not much to not like. He's been on the team for a few years now, and he had some issues with sometimes having an attitude, sometimes throwing fits, getting into fights, and getting personal fouls called. But he seems to have been really matured this year. He's stayed out of that kind of trouble so far, and he just seems to be going about his business very professionally and very diligently and being just a cool cat. So I love the way he's evolved his game, and he's just been amazing in the first 3 games of this year so far. So he's, not to mention, he's vying for a contract because I don't know if y'all noticed, but during this past year, we've had a record number of contracts for receivers, upwards of $100 million or more for some of the top receivers. And DK is seeing that, and his mouth is watering, going, if I play my cards right and I have a breakout season, I'm going to get myself a 9-figure contract next year. And that's what he's gunning for. So it's very likely that the Seahawks will be paying their first $100 million wide receiver in DK Metcalf next season. And I'm hoping he will have earned every penny of that contract by killing it this year. So far, he's on a good start. So, yeah, well, we'll see what happens next week. I think if we can beat the Lions somehow, that's going to change. That's going to turn a lot of heads and make a lot of people start believing in the Seattle Seahawks. So right now, I think people just kind of don't really give us a lot of credit, and I'm fine with that. I like being under the radar and not having a lot of expectations, so we can just surprise everybody. You know what I mean?
Right, we've been surprising everybody.
It has been. They've been surprising even me. You know, they did not expect this to be a win until we saw that their quarterback was knocked out, and I thought we got a pretty good chance to go 3-0, and certainly that's what we did. So, well,
now it's gonna be 4.
Yeah, it's gonna be 4. I hope come this time Monday, because by this time the game will have been over by about an hour. Hopefully, in a week's time, we'll be talking about the 4-0 Seahawks just having beaten the Detroit Lions on Monday Night Football. So, fingers crossed. Yep. That's what we hope for. So, all right. Well, thanks, Susan. Thanks for discovering my channel, and hopefully you call in again next time we do one of these shows. All right.
One more thing.
Yes.
Hey.
Hawks.
Hey.
Hawks. I love it. All right. Well, Susan, don't forget to subscribe. And that goes for all of you guys, too. Hit that subscribe button and like this video and hit that notification bell so you'll always be notified whenever a new video comes out. And you'll see me on there go, oh, Norb's got a new video. Boop. Let's go check it out. All right, Susan. Well, you take care. Nice talking to you. Go Hawks.
Okay, you too.
All right. Nice lady out of Reno. All right, I thought that was going to be the last call. I got one more. I believe this is Michael from the 206, my hometown here. At least on Lakes on my cell number. Is this Michael?
Yep.
Michael, what's going on, buddy?
Not much.
I remember you. You're like a really smart fan. You're like a really intelligent football fan. Am I right?
Yep.
And humble, too. That's what I really like about it. No. All right. I'm really interested in your take on what the Seahawks are at this point. 3-0 in first place. Are they truly a undefeated first place looking team? Or are we just, is it all smoke and mirrors? What's your take?
You know, we got a little bit lucky with the Niners getting pretty banged up.
True.
And it's pretty interesting because, in fairness, we have played some pretty bad QBs, like Bo Nix, followed by Brissett, followed by Skylar Thompson and their third-string QB.
Yep.
So we haven't faced much, but you can't say that we haven't been good. I mean, I think we put up some numbers we stopped them 12 times on third down.
Yeah, they're one for.
They were over.
1 for.
Yeah, and then they were
something.
Yeah, something like that, and then they were 0 for 3 on fourth down.
1 for 12. 1 for 12 on third down. 0 for 3 on fourth down.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's dominating defense right there.
Yeah, no, that we handled business. I will say, I'm happy that Woolen has started finding his groove, because last year was a little bit of an off year for him.
True.
In a way.
Very true.
Again, with Woolen, I feel like he could use his build a lot better and use his physicality to his advantage more than he does. But he has that speed to where if he gives the guy like 5 yards of space, he can make that up pretty quick.
This is true. Plus, he's got those long arms, so even if he gets beat, he just jumps at the last second, reaches up. He can cover a lot of ground because of that length of his.
Mm-hmm. One thing that was kind of concerning with the Dolphins, it was Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy going down.
Mm-hmm.
So that was tiny bit concerning. I haven't looked at what their status is.
I haven't heard anything new yet as far as true updates as to what their prognosis is. I haven't heard anything new yet. So, yeah, I don't know.
But there are lots of Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
There are lots of promising things like Derek Hall. He had a great game.
Yep.
Boye Mafe's been looking great.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the way the defense has played, and I like the way it looks. Like, as long as we can stay healthy, and as long as we, like, you know, can tackle, because that's been one of our issues. If we can, like, do all those things and execute, then I'm really excited to see what they look like.
Yeah, for sure, man. How old are you again?
I'm 12.
12 years old. Perfect number. Narendra Managaran says it best. This kid's better than most sports commentators. You're very smart. You're very observant, and you spit facts, young man. So admire your sports intelligence. So how optimistic are you about next week?
You know, considering the way we've played against the Lions in the past, and considering the way that, like, our defense has looked, even with the QBs, we still have faced weapons with, like, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and whoever else. We've faced that, and I think if Geno slings the rock like he did against the Dolphins, other than the picks, and, you know, is K9 back? I don't think he is, right?
Some people have said that they think it's projected he'll be back next week, but I haven't heard anything official that said he's back, so I don't know. That would be a huge game changer if he's back in the lineup healthy.
It definitely would be. Even if he's limited, he's still a weapon. So with that being said, like, if DK, you know, has another 100-yard game or something like that, and JSN gets targeted a good amount, we're efficient with the rock, and Charbonnet is not averaging 2.7 yards a carry, then, you know, I think we do have a good shot. Because the Lions are a good team, but they're one that is kind of like explosive, but not always extremely consistent.
That's for sure.
Like, run defense is going to be a huge thing because they have, you know, Gibbs and Montgomery. So if we can control that and work, like, tackle them per chance, then, you know.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the... Gibbs is a very physical running back who can truck a guy anywhere on the field.
Yep.
And we struggle with tackling, so those two don't really, you know, have good chemistry. But by chance, if we can kind of just work on that run defense and, you know, control those explosive gains, then I think we have a shot. I think our cornerbacks can go against Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra.
Yeah. I'm just entertained by how well-spoken you are. It kind of is a little bit mind-blowing. Just your phrases. That being said, it's great, man. You're so right about everything you said there. We've just got another great comment here. Narendra says, Seahawks might need to open up one more spot on the coaching staff for Michael here. It's amazing. No, I think you're right. It's if we can get a lot of these missing guys back, and if we can just when the Seahawks execute with the people they even have right now, and they execute well, no penalties, and they just do their job. You know, the offense is amazing to watch, even without K9. Defense is amazing to watch, even without Nwosu, even without Williams, even without Murphy. they still did some amazing things yesterday, making the goal line stand, the stops that they got. So imagine if we can get even half of those guys, or with all those guys are back, how much more formidable they'll be. Because we haven't even seen this team yet in the new system with Nwosu, who is arguably maybe the best pass rusher and run defender off the edge. And he hasn't even played yet, and we're undefeated. So we really could use Nwosu in this game. But, I just think the possibilities are just so super exciting. So,
I mean, it's great having that, head start against the Niners, too.
Yeah. No, it's really huge. It's really huge for sure. What this 2-game lead unexpectedly has already done for us, because it's just man, we weren't supposed to have this, but I love the fact that we do. So it's a great thing to be having right now, and it's only going to benefit. It gives us a little cushion. It's a little cushion so that if we've got some mess ups along the way that maybe just aren't quite going the way we were hoping to in a game that we dropped that we shouldn't have dropped, it'll buy us a little bit of time, to kind of get through what we need to get through. So did not see this coming, to be 2 games up in the division with only 3 weeks into the season. So it's an awesome place.
Another good thing is, if you look at the Niners schedule, they have this 6-game stretch where it's I think it's Hawks, then Chiefs, the Packers and Bucks are in that, and then the Hawks too.
Yeah.
So, even though they've, had quite good success against us in the past, recently when Geno's been the starter, even with that being said, most of the time, the score doesn't explain how close those games were, and if they, are missing McCaffrey, which sucks for my fantasy team, or Debo, or Kittle, and I think Brock Purdy's questionable, but I think that's a minor thing. Yeah. Even if any of those things kind of come into play, those all look like different ball games, and they could drop 4 out of 6.
No, it's huge. It's kind of like us, that they kind of had they're dropped a couple games that they shouldn't have this early. And like I said, I thought they could have been 5-0 going into this when I looked at their schedule, and I thought we would be 2-2. Initially when I saw, okay, we'll probably win the first 2, then the next 2 are going to be tough. But now we're looking realistically, not crazily, that we could be 4-0. And the exact opposite of what I thought the Niners would have been. So, yeah, we're in a great position at this point. So, yeah, man, I got to do this again and have you on, because you're a great analyst. And, man, I might have to bring you in and be part of the round table and have you do some breakdowns with it. Would you be open to that?
Oh, yeah, I'd love that, bro.
Okay, all right. I've got your number in here, so I'm gonna look you up. And can I message you on this number?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So when I do some post-game breakdowns, I might have to include you on that, because some of my guys, they're in college and very busy these days and not having much time to do this stuff. But it sounds like you might have a little more availability. So, yeah, man, I will definitely look you up. All right? Well, thanks for being part of this. Yeah. You've been great.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Yeah, you bet, Michael. I'll talk to you later. All right. Take care and go Hawks.
Yeah, have a good night.
You too.
You too.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, man, what a smart kid. Makes me feel dumb just talking to him. This guy really knows his stuff. But, hey, we were talking about this game. I'm going to have to wrap up the show. That was my last call. But I did want to acknowledge my sponsor, this video being brought to you by BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino. And one of the cool things here, we were just talking about how is it looking with the Detroit Lions game? And there we go. There's the odds right now. It's got Detroit favored by 4 points. So that's the spread as it stands right now. So if you feel like they're kind of jipping the Seahawks, I think the Seahawks are going to win. I can make some money there. Well, then if you go to BetUS and open up an account, you could actually enter the code YouTube150, and BetUS will actually match whatever deposit you make. They will match 150% of that and add 150% of that deposit into your account, and then 125% on top of that on your next 2 deposits up to $2,000. So if you put in $100, they'll give you an extra $150. If you put in $1,000, they'll give you whatever 150% of $1,000 is. 1,500. That's crazy, right? But it's nothing better than playing with someone else's money. So, but if you do partake in, dabbling in a little bit of this action, just make sure that that online gambling is void in your state and that you're of legal and gambling age. Michael, you cannot do this. Okay, so just don't try it. But for those of you, if you want to dabble in it, this is a great place to do it with a great matching deposit program if you sign up now. All right. Well, that is it, guys. I'm going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for everybody calling in. Great calls tonight. Love the energy of some of you who are really over the top, like Flex, and it was great to have Michael with all the great analysis. I'm going to bring this kid back, definitely on a regular for the show, because he's an extremely observant kid. And just everybody, for those of you who are tuned in and stayed here for the entire hour, and oh gosh, I'm going on 2 hours on this show. Holy cow, time flies when you're having fun. But anyway, it's been a great time. More videos to come. Like I said, I probably will not be able to stream the game on Monday because I'm pretty certain that I've got my daughter's volleyball game at the same time as the Lions game. So I'll have to do something separate from that. But probably going to try to do a collab with a Lions YouTube creator to talk about the matchups on this game. And hopefully get that video out before the weekend. And I've got my next part of the music prediction video to come. If you haven't seen it yet, look up the NorbFam Seahawks prediction music video. I've got the first 3 weeks done. I got to now work on the rest of it. And we'll definitely have the Lions video done before the game and show you my prediction of what I think is going to happen on Monday night. All right. Well, thank you again for watching. Feel free to subscribe, like this video for sure, and hit that notification bell so you'll be alerted anytime a new video comes out. And we'll talk to you guys all later. See ya. Go Hawks.